Hey there everyone, my name's Chaotic and today I'm going to be showing you how to explore efficiently in the game of Subnautica. Now if you haven't watched my first video, go back and watch that because it gives you some basic survival tips. I'll put a little annotation here so you can go and watch that and then come back. But basically I'm going to be showing you how to explore without dying a lot and how to make sure that you make the most of your time underwater with the limited oxygen supply. So we're going to be crafting a few things that are relevant to the latest update of the game. If you haven't got that, make sure you download it from Steam as soon as possible because it's got some really cool things. But first off, I'm going to be showing you the importance of beacons. You can see that I've got a few beacons showing up over there. I've got a few, well, I don't know. Oh, there's another one over there. So let me go and catch those beacons, then I'll show you how to make them and all that sort of stuff. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I picked up my beacons, and let me just show you what a beacon is. So this is what a beacon looks like. It says for tracking a location, and you can assign it to one of your slots in your hand. So if I press 4, there we go. It's in my hand now, floating above my face awkwardly. Get away. I don't like you anymore. Okay, so how you make that is you go into Fabricator as always, going to Equipment, and then you will see down here it says Beacon, and it needs just battery and metal, but to make, obviously you need a battery, and to make a battery you need zinc, which you get from breaking limestone, and you need metal, which you get from picking up on the floor. So it's quite easy to make, quite a cheap resource to make, but they're so useful, and let me show you why. Okay, so say you're on exploration, you're like, okay, this is a completely new area, this is something I've never seen before, blah 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 blah. But you spot that there's a nice little cave down here, and you want to explore it, but you're running out of food. So what you do is you right-click a beacon, put it right here, and then it will start showing on your screen no matter where you are. So you will always see that one beacon there. So even if I'm like if I'm like swimming over here, you'll always be able to see it even through rocks and stuff. So you can always return to that cool cave that you saw before. And that's a really important thing. If you like see a cave where you see copper, but you die or something, but you think you're scared you're gonna die because of the crashes and things, you can always put a beacon down just to remember the location. And it's a really cool feature that they're adding. I've been on the forums a lot, and they've been talking about maybe making colored beacons or named beacons, so you can have specific locations where you know. That you know by name, because otherwise, like, if I put up another beacon in like a similar location, so say I want to remember that there's a box here, then I'll put that there, and then that looks exactly the same. That little radar thing looks exactly the same as the other one, which is somewhere there it is. So they look exactly the same, but I'm thinking they're gonna add colors or names. So that'll be really cool if they do that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to make is something that kind of ties in with the beacon, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, and this is the sea scooter. Actually, I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? The Sea Glide. Okay, so this is really useful. It's got a torch on it too, so you can always explore in the dark. But the way you make this is actually quite resource intensive, if I recall. You go into Fabricator, go into Tools this time, and then you go to Sea Glide, which needs metal, battery. Actually, it's not that bad. You just need the same as a beacon, but you need silicone, which is made from using 3 sand. So it's really easy to make, but it's so much quicker than swimming. I'm pretty sure you can even outrun crashes, which are the little bomb things in caves. But yeah, so look, it's really quick. The only problem is it uses 2 hands, so you can't like pull out your knife and fight at the same time, or you can't use your air bladder at the same time. But it is really useful to get into the surface, diving deep down. And just overall exploration, I'd say this is a must-have tool for exploring the world of Subnautica, especially if you want to go a bit further out or want to go to like depths like 100 meters down and stuff. This actually works. I know for a fact that the Sea Moth doesn't actually go deeper than 100 meters, which is a submarine, which I haven't actually made yet, but I know that it can't go deeper than 100 meters. So the reason this is useful with a beacon is because you can go to really far off locations and drop the beacon down. Otherwise, you might just be exploring with this for hours, and then you forget all the location you've seen. So the beacon ties in really nicely with this piece of equipment, which is really cool. This is my favorite thing. I love this thing. This is my favorite thing in the game. Okay, so the next kind of mini tip I'm going to give is these things, the storage cubes. You can pick them up, you put them in your inventory, and you can drop them down. You only craft them using 3 metal, so they're really cheap. If you find 3 metal, you can always think, I'm going to make a storage cube. And yeah, they have a 3x3, which means 9. They have, oh, I just dropped that. I didn't mean to drop it. There we go. Drop. I said drop, please. They're a bit temperamental sometimes. But yeah, if you click the lid, left mouse button, you see the storage. And it's got quite a lot of storage in there. And you can store all sorts of important stuff like the stasis rifle fragments or whatever you want. You can make as many of these as you want and store them in here or store them in the water. And they're just really useful to keep materials because eventually you're going to fill up your inventory and you're going to fill up this storage that you get provided really easily, especially if you get like constructors and lots of metal and beacons. So these are really useful and really paramount to making things. You could even set up a beacon and put a few of those with food in next to the beacon at like far off locations. So no matter where you're diving, you've got a store of food or weapons or anything like that. It's a really useful way to do it. I haven't done it yet because I don't have the survival world. This is my non-survival world. This is where the freedom world, sorry. So I don't have to worry about food and water and stuff. So, but this is where I record on. So the last thing I'm going to be showing you, which is actually something I forgot and I just remembered, which is really, really useful, is the current generator. Now, when I first saw this in the fabricator, I was like, it's something to do with electricity or something, but no, it's water current generator. I've heard that they're going to be implementing more and more currents into the game, which is going to be awesome. But okay, so you go into fabricator, go into equipment, and then you will see, I know it's equipment, and you will find current generator. Now, I think the traditional usage for this is to drive fish into the grav sphere so it'll catch them. But I think I found another use for it, which is to escape deep places. So, for example, I've got one in my inventory right here. Oh, hang on, I forgot to say how to craft it. You craft it using a battery and metal. Okay, so you've got it in inventory. God, I suck at this. And then what you need to do is put it in one of your slots. So then, say, for example, you're diving for, let's pretend this is really, really deep. This place with a beacon. This is really, really deep. There's, I don't think I'm going to be able to get up to the surface in time. What you can do is plan ahead and place a current generator right here, point facing upwards by pressing the right mouse button. And then you can see that this little grill is facing upwards, and this is the direction that the bubbles and current is going to be going. So what you do to activate it, you go to the bottom, and then you left-click the button, and then you see it starts firing these little bubbles and this current upwards. And you will see now, when we go into it, it's so quick to get to the surface. It's incredibly quick. In real life, you'd get the bends, but so that I think that's the fastest way of getting to the surface. Like, it's faster than the air bladder, faster than using the sea glide. But yeah, it's really useful. It's quite cheap to make, but I think it's a really good. The only problem is, obviously, if you want to get back down to that area, you have to kind of dodge the bubbles, but it's not that big of a deal. And where did it just go? Did it just... Oh, no, there it is. I thought it disappeared. I think that's going to be it for this episode of Subnautica. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you watch some of my other videos on the series. They're going to be doing quite a lot of them. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
If I'm a man